Good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in bright and early once again. Good morning, good morning. All right, let's go ahead and get started with the daily message. And we are on part 12 of 2 Kings, which we will get into after this. As I had mentioned, we will have to extend 2 Kings to maybe just an additional part once I get there. But again, I appreciate you listening. Let's go ahead and start out with the Qur'an. All right. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. All right. Awesome. We have the very last line of Surah 61, which is As-Saff, which means the ring. 18. Surah 61, As-Saff, which means the ranks. And to minimize the noisiness, I have the cats going in and outside. They love to come in and go back out, and they open the door, so I have to close the door in a second. Does not limit our distraction, I'll tell you. Line 14, let's go ahead and read this out. O ye who believe, be ye helpers of Allah, as said Jesus, the son of Mary, to the disciples. Who will be my helpers to the work of Allah? Said the disciples, we are Allah's helpers. Then a portion of the children of Israel believed, and a portion disbelieved. But we gave power to those who believed against their enemies, and they became the ones that prevailed. Awesome. Good message. All right, in or out, kittens? You can't sit in the doorway. I need to close this because it's a little loud. Even the littlest one is outside today, and he comes a knocking, opens the door again. They just like to sit in the doorway. They like being in between outside and inside. I don't think the traffic noise outside bothers you guys as much as it bothers me, so I'm just gonna let it be, and I'll let all the bugs come in the house. No big deal. They'll catch them anyway, right? And this is one of our circled verses. I know it's been quite some time since we actually went through each of the surahs and our circled verses. Has to be like at least a year since we did that. But this is one of them. So it does always give me a little bit of confirmation of the good parts. Because I went through and I circled some really good lines that I thought were meaningful. It's all meaningful, but I thought were relevant, I should say. And we are revisiting these when we open, randomly calling upon Allah to give us a message of the day, a word from His perspective. Some are good and some are bad, right? I wouldn't say bad, but a little bit more warning on the warning side versus the glad tidings side. But this one is great. This one is glad tidings. This is pulling us to go back into remembrance of Him and remembrance of Jesus, right? We did talk about how Jesus is very commonly mentioned in the Qur'an. He was just as an important prophet as from Islamic perspective as the Christians were to understand as well. So the disciples. And I will read it one more time just because it's a little bit longer. And with this, is not really too much to dive into. But sometimes reading it, writing it, and then reading it out again gets those juices flowing to any good insights that we might make. As you see, it's not really the traffic, it's the birds. They're just going so crazy this morning. I wonder if it's because we have little predators out there. Not like they catch them, but Okay. What? It's inside or outside. You can't do both. Until he meows again. Okay. O ye who believe, be ye helpers of Allah, as Jesus, the son of Mary, said to his disciples, as said Jesus, who will be my helpers to the work of Allah? Said the disciples, we are Allah's helpers. Then a portion of the children of Israel believed, and a portion disbelieved. But we gave power to those who believed against their enemies, and they became the ones that prevailed. Okay. So this is the power of the Lord bestowed upon the believers. Embody the power of Allah. We'll go ahead and just get that title right in there. And, it's actually telling us here to be helpers, right? To work with Allah. Although in the Qur'an it does mention, Allah has no helpers. More so, he has no partners, right? He has no one up there working with him side by side, making sure all of Earth's creation is in order, right? He is the sole controller and sole power and sole spirit and sole entity and sole frequency that regulates everything that we see here in front of us, everything that we experience, and even the things that we don't see and don't experience when it comes to the animals on Earth, things going on all at one time. He is the sole controller. But Jesus is actually calling us as believers, as human beings, to go ahead and assist him in his work here on Earth. Okay? So whether we are working as we sleep in the interstellar realms, right? Whether we are doing spiritual work, outside of the physical, Jesus specifically here is calling on others, right, other human beings, to do the physical work of Allah, right, to spread his message, right, to spread his message, to spread the awareness of God. So that's very important, spreading the awareness of God, and also to act as God would act, with love and benevolence and care towards all things, human, not human, human and not human, as far as animals and things like that. Love and care was really the primary message of Jesus, right? Love your neighbor as love your neighbor as you love yourself, right? So that was the key message here, and that is really the most help that we can give Allah, is just to love other people, right? Spread also his message, his awareness, make others keen on who he is, and the power that he embodies, he will actually instill upon you to go ahead and be successful in all that you do. So I know that there's been prophets and there's been disciples that may not have had the longest life. Maybe they faced a bit of discrimination. Maybe they faced a bit of persecution. But that is not the end of their story. That is not the end of their road, because they did assist Allah, right, in his works here on earth. They are granted many, many rewards in the afterlife, and even, I know, the forbidden, right, reincarnation, and even coming back and teaching and continuing his message. Squeaky, now there's bugs, there's flies, and he's chasing them all around, getting so excited. But this is the key too. We are called to embody the power of Allah. Okay, those who believe will be given the gifts of the power that we so frequently sought after, right? We want to be confident, we want to be strong, we want to be able to handle anything that is placed upon our laps, and we will, right? And we do as believers. So that is a beautiful, beautiful message. And again, we're discussing this from the lens of Jesus, the Son of Mary, speaking to his disciples. So it is another call to action too. Who will be my helpers, right? And the disciples reply, we are Allah's helpers. We are here to help. They don't really have a second thought when it comes to God, when it comes to the God that their fathers followed and their fathers' fathers followed. Who wouldn't want to fight for the cause and be in assistance of the great and all-powerful Lord? And again, Jesus was just the one to go ahead and bring everybody together and to go ahead and, make that their actual job and make that their actual task here on earth. Of course, they had families. Of course, they had other things going on as far as work and, the fishermen, everything like that. Tax collector. They had all these other roles. So to be able to, shift their focus, that was really Jesus's main role. Also, while spreading the message of love and things like that, but really just to shift focus as well was very, very key. So as Jesus did that to his disciples, shifted their focus, that is what we as believers are called to do continually, right? Love, right? Through embodying the power of Allah, we shift the focus of others. You don't have to look up necessarily, but look towards the Lord. Look towards the Lord in everything that you do throughout your day, before you go to sleep, before you go into your unconscious drifts. Look towards the Lord. And I'm going to go ahead and leave this here. Oh, great. We do have a bit of time before my day, my other work, to go ahead and read the 2 Kings. So I'll get on there in just a second and read that to you. I'll be right back. Thank you.